Welcome to Cleaning Company Blueprint. I'm Victoria, and we have Kevin today, and he's going to be sharing his secrets about how he generated over 40K a month in just 120 days, starting his first cleaning company.
Yeah, so it was a crazy first few months in business, but I think like my main kind of takeaway from what I'm going to say is I kind of treated it as like a scientific experiment. So everything that I was doing was basically I was just testing it, right? I was testing everything. I was testing hiring ads, I was testing marketing channels, I was testing new teams. So everything's just kind of a test, and if it doesn't work, I forget about it. If it works, I keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you're also at the same time, you're right, when something doesn't work, then you replace it with a new test. So I was testing all these different marketing channels. I found one that worked for probably about a year really, really well, which was Yelp. What I was doing is I was just testing different things. I would test, back then we didn't have Google local services. So I would test AdWords. And I would, set aside some money every week for AdWords campaigns. I would test out, things like Facebook, whatever other platforms I can get into, I would be testing out. Door hangers, literally everything, right? Because what somebody is saying in a different city isn't working for them. There could be a lot of variables, right? There could be they could just be doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And so I was just testing things out, and things that were working for me, I just doubled down on.
That's amazing, Kevin. And so what was your biggest month in your first year, if you remember?
It was in the like 60 something thousand range.
And
Yeah.
profit margins between 20 and 40%?
Yeah, they were a little on the low end. So back then I was paying my cleaners 70%. Which was a mistake. Yeah. I should have been paying them, 60% or so.
Yeah.
But I was young back then. I didn't really know much.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, if you have a really good cleaner, paying them more is sometimes worth it. We do 60% and we stick to it. Like there's no messing around with that. But that's just for simplicity's sake for us with math. I'm not great at math, so I don't want to be doing funky math all the time. I just want to set it and forget it and know this is what you're getting. I'm curious about the testing. So one of the things that I find in our community, the Convert Labs community, which, by the way, if you're interested in joining and you're watching this, there is the link below. And while you're at it, if you enjoy getting tips on all this cleaning company stuff, do subscribe because that's all we share on this channel is stuff that actually works. So how did you determine when you had enough data, I guess is what I'm asking. So, because what I find in the community is people will be like, that didn't work. And I'm like, well, how many times did you try that thing? And it'll be like, well, once or twice. I'm like, that's not a true test. So how did you determine what a true test would be?
Okay, so there's different things. One, back then, Google Analytics was really good.
Yeah.
They would tell you what websites people were coming from. They just had a lot more data.
Yeah.
And so it felt like you could operate with a lot less sample size, a smaller sample size, right? Yeah. Than you can now. So one, I was always on Google Analytics. I was looking at where people were coming from. I was looking at what the conversion rate was. Like on Yelp, it was like 30% of the people that were clicking onto my website were booking. It was ridiculous.
That's amazing.
I was spending like $15 or something per conversion.
This was only 10 years ago. Okay. So for anybody watching this, when you keep saying back then, it's like
a lot has changed. A lot has changed since then, though.
And you were first to market too, right? Yeah. So there was nobody who had online booking. Whereas today, if you're in a big city in the States anyway, they probably have online booking. And that is as a result of Rohan's Reddit post, Kevin and Rohan teaching thousands of people how to do this. But that doesn't mean it's saturated. It's nowhere near saturated.
Yeah, because really what that means when there's more well, it's not really that there's more competition. I should just say better competition is you just have to be better, right? And it's not that hard, right? You just by having better customer service, Just by picking up the phone, you can be better than 90% of companies out there. It's not,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised at how low the bar is for our competition.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Try hiring a cleaner today and you'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, for like other, how I was testing other things is if I was doing something physical, like door hangers or whatever I was doing, I would put an offer with a unique link to my website. So then I can track that, right?
Yeah.
So I was always trying to track everything and seeing what was working, what was not working.
And I love this as an example of how you personally reach these amazing numbers, Kevin, because then when you created Convert Labs as the software for people like me, who then learned from you how to do this thing, your software actually converts. It actually gets me the clients I need, and you've tested it.
Yeah, I mean, we hired a marketing firm, and we were doing so much to our website to increase the conversion rate. I was spending like $200 a month just on hosting because I wanted to have the absolute fastest website out there so that people wouldn't, click away and go somewhere else because it just wasn't quick.
Yep.
So I was doing a lot of little stuff that we were just kind of I was spending all my time tinkering around and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work.
And it works. I mean, for us, it's 34.5%. If people land on our website and fill out the very simple, what the quote is, then in terms of booking, we get 34.5% of them, which means for us, we like getting 2 to 3 bookings a day. That's our sweet spot. That's how quickly we like to grow. It's not too much. It's totally manageable. Our biggest day, by the way, Kevin, was 27 bookings.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So
that's a great day.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
But they were all one time. There was only 1 or 2 recurrings in there, and I'm really focused on recurrings now. So
yeah.
I don't beat myself up for not having 27 booking days. I actually don't want 27 bookings in a day. Thank you, universe. I'm happy with 2 to 3 a day. That's the growth that we like and that we can manage. So.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you say that about conversion rates because they should be higher on our websites for this industry because you normally don't have a lot of looky-loos, right? You don't have people coming to your site that have zero interest in booking this type of service.
Yeah, why would they be looking at a cleaning website?
Yeah, right. They're not looking for information. It's not an informational website, right? So it's really important that your website is very easy to understand, what you do, where you do it, what you want people to do, why they should do it, et cetera. That's kind of what we focus on with Convert Labs.
Do you have any other one last tidbit that you would give to anyone just starting out if they want to go all in and they want to reach 40, 50, 60K in their first few months in revenue? What advice would you have? Your best advice?
Yeah, I would say to not get discouraged because you are going to find like channels that are just not great. You're going to have somebody in New York that says, "Oh, I swear by Thumbtack, it's just I'm killing it." And then you try it and it's like, you're spending like $100 a lead and these people are just not serious about booking the service, right? So you're gonna kind of be all over the place, and so don't get discouraged. Treat it really as like a scientific experiment. You're just have a hypothesis. You're doing an experiment, and then you're gonna have some conclusion, right? Okay, my conclusion is Thumbtack is not for me right now. It could be later on.
Great answer.
Right? But right now it's just not for me. And then you try something else. And you probably want to try like 2 or 3 platforms, at any given time. Yeah. Right. Or maybe 5 if you're a bigger company, right? You're always kind of testing these things out, seeing what works.
So good. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. And for all those people watching, if you have any questions for Kevin or myself, please put them down below. As well as use the Convert Labs link. It's down below. That gives you 30 days for free. You can join our community, meet all of us, and learn all about starting your own cleaning company.